So I don't follow sports closely. You can probably tell from my hits with Andy Scholes and Coy Wire. But I'm told the Lakers and the Mavericks recently made the craziest trade in NBA history. Sure. Well, today I've got my eye on the Continental Athletic Conference's Women's Basketball Championship. Why? I'll tell you. Because this afternoon, the Haskell Indian Nations University's women's basketball team will compete in the semifinals. Now, if they win, they'll play in the championship game tomorrow. And as you may have guessed from the name of the university, all these students, athletes are Native American women. It's a huge opportunity, but hanging over the team is the fact that their university is in crisis. In fact, their coach is currently leading the team for no pay. He's still coaching them despite losing his job a little more than 2 weeks ago. He lost his job because of the Trump administration's recent order laying off probationary workers. And when the president claims he's going after bureaucrats, the ripple effect is impacting more than just Washington. It's impacting basketball. Coach Adam Strom is one of nearly 40 employees. That's about 25 to 30% of the staff. The school says had to be let go. Haskell depends on federal support, and now they're trying to get a waiver. The Haskell National Board of Regents posted a letter to Doug Burgum, Trump Secretary of Interior, and says Haskell is an important part of the federal government's commitment to enhancing the quality of life for Indian people. We of the Haskell Board of Regents ask you to relieve Haskell from the burden of losing its valuable personnel who help fulfill the school's important and legally required mission. Let's hone in on that for a moment. The government has a legally required mission to help tribal universities like Haskell. To begin to understand why, here's important critical history. A recent article in the Kansas City Star newspaper explains Haskell's origins. Founded by the U.S. Army in 1884, Haskell was birthed from tragedy. It was created as an Indian boarding school where children were removed from their parents in tribal nations to be stripped of their culture and heritage and assimilated into white America. Children died there. A graveyard for 103 children at the southern edge of the campus speaks to that legacy. Today, Haskell says it welcomes more than 800 students every year to their campus in Kansas, and those young people represent nearly 150 Indian nations and tribes across the country. What's true with HBCUs is true with tribal universities. Haskell is underfunded, and this could put their ability to stay open at risk. The Haskell Foundation is now seeking donations with the hopes of raising $350,000. Included in what they are hoping to fund are temporary contract extensions for custodial staff and dining services and part-time coaches. Hands up, Haskell! Hands up, Haskell! Well, this happened this week. Students protested outside the Kansas State Capitol. They're fighting for funding to be restored, not wanting to give up on their school, just like their women's basketball coach is not giving up on the team. With us now is the Haskell women's basketball coach, Adam Strom, and one of his student athletes, Star Hermione Horses. Thank you both for being with me. Coach, I want to start with you. It was February 14th, I believe it was. Tell me what happened when you learned that you were unemployed.
Chuck Maitsky, Shuk Pachwai. Good morning, good day. February 14th, just more than 2 weeks ago, I was called into the athletic director's office, and I was told my name was on a list, and that list was a termination list that was a trickle-down effect from the Trump administration, and it was an executive order for probationary period employment staff, and that I would be terminated effective that day. That would be my last payday.
And Star, when you heard this, what went through your mind? What was the team's reaction?
Honestly, it was pretty devastating to our team because of how much our coach means to us and how much we've grown as a team this year. So it was a real shock to know that he was a part of that order and that things had just changed so rapidly. Most of us were in shock at the time.
But Coach, you decided that although that was your last day being paid, that you were not going to leave the team. Why?
That decision was made without hesitation. The dedication that the entire program, the staff, the institution has provided, it was again made without hesitation. And I wanted to take the stance that uh, the termination was going to create determination on my part, and the dedication to fulfill a job was at the forefront. I couldn't walk away with the job not finished.
And I read that your father was coach of a high school girls basketball team for decades. What do these girls, these women, mean to you?
So I believe I'm living on a legacy. And my late father, Ted Strom, had coached for 30 years, and he coached females. He coached high school girls. And early on in my coaching career, my father said, "Someday you're going to make a great college coach," and that was written in a John Wooden Christmas gift, a book that he gave me. So again, I feel like I'm fulfilling a legacy, and I'm living out my dad's wishes, and that's to make Native American youth not only better basketball players, but better individuals.
Star, as I said earlier, that the coach is not the only person impacted. 25 to 30% of the faculty and staff there. How has this impacted campus life and academics aside from basketball?
This has really put a halt on a lot of the activities we have here at Haskell and just our entire college experience, really. There's been, with the lack of staff that's around now, it's just really difficult for students to feel optimistic about the future and what the rest of our college experience will be like. But seeing all the efforts that people are making and the highlight that's been happening on our school is really hopeful and brings us a lot of hope that some good will come out of this and we'll still be.
Coach, last thing before we go, you got a family to provide for. I know you're volunteering now, but how long can you stay?
Yes, I do. I have three children that actually played basketball here at Haskell Indian Nations University on the men's team, and they will all be graduating. I have a wife who is a school administrator in the Topeka School District, and just the family support, prayers, offerings, and like Star alluded to, just the highlight with the Haskell Foundation, the Haskell community, the Native American community. There's no doubt in my mind that Coach Strom is going to be able to survive, and that's strength in numbers, and that's strength in Indian country, which we play for. And the Native American community, the Indian country, is going to support Coach Strom. In turn, I'm going to provide them with the best of my expertise with coaching Native American women, lifelong characteristics.
All right, Coach Adam Strom and Star Her Many Horses, thank you so much for being with me. Good luck today in the game. And we'll be following, of course, everything happening at Haskell.